Konnichiwa, minasan. I'm Great Oka United Empire. 今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよ。みんな、ブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables Podcast, episode number 56. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas. I am here with our Broken Predictions champion, as always, Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
You know, Jeff, it's as the fans say, Rome knows.
Yeah.
And indeed I do.
That was a good sign that we saw tonight. If you guys missed it, let me throw it up for you here real quick. Give me 1 second. And, welcome everybody who's joining us over on YouTube. Welcome to everybody else who are listening or possibly watching on Spotify. If you do not know, you can also watch on Spotify now. So we will be uploading that video later tonight or tomorrow morning, I guess it would be. But here is the awesome sign that we got to see tonight. It said Rome knows. Yeah, that was a pretty good one there.
So let's just kind of jump right into this, right? So once again, the King's Court is in session, and I would like to thank my fans for making this sign, and it's true. I do know. I know what's, I've got the finger on the pulse of All Elite Wrestling.
I love it. I love it. I might have to make you your own whole screen for the King's Court. I might have to, do something there.
Yes, the King's Court is in session. That is Big T. Hello, Big T. How you doing tonight?
You don't know how to feel about the main event? I fucking loved it, dude.
I actually also have some thoughts, and we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, we'll get to it for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about the main event because I also have some thoughts. But
I do have a single problem with it, but it's tough to find any matches that I don't have any problems with. But yeah, I thought tonight was an absolutely great night of Dynamite. Excellent night 3 of Fyter Fest, or start of week 2, I guess is how they were putting it this week. They kept saying week 2 instead of night 3. And we started off right away with a awesome freaking match. Brody King versus Darby Allin, man. And dude, Brody King absolutely fucking annihilated Darby Allin in this match. This was crazy. He did get a lot of offense in, but man, I was like, he's beating this kid half to death. It was like the Simpsons thing, he's already dead. Stop. Like that was brutal.
Yeah, man, I thought that this match was a really strong opener, a really strong start to the night. I really enjoyed, we see big guys versus little guys all the time, but this was a rare treat where, man, the big guy, Brody in this sense, really just manhandled Darby. He threw him around. It wasn't just like, I'm a big guy, I'm going to toss you. No, he was dragging him by the belt loop, it was nuts. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this match. Thought it was great. I loved a lot of just the back and forth between these guys. They clearly have some good chemistry. I enjoyed, one of my favorite spots was, it was early in the match. Brody kind of is holding Darby. He's choking Darby up against the ring post, all the way up with one hand. I thought that was a really cool visual.
One of my favorite spots in this was real early on where Darby came running off the ropes. He bounced off the ropes and he tried to do a flying forearm to Brody. And Brody just stuck his forearm out and Darby went flipping and flying inside out. And dude, I guess it's just because Darby's such a lightweight individual that he just flips and it just looks so brutal every time, and there was no lack of it in this match here. Brody threw him around like you were saying. his chops to Darby sounded like gunshots. He put him up on top of the ropes and hit him with a couple of chops. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how this goes with everyone in the chat and with you, Jeff. I loved the fact that Brody King went over. I popped so hard. I was like, this is excellent, man. This is just all of the talent being respected in the company. And it's just like a guy like Brody King, like he should be able to beat Darby Allin. Like that's the other thing. There's the trope about like the small wrestler always just overcoming the odds. But like for that to mean something, you also need to have the flip side of it where the bigger guy is just too much for him. And I thought this was a great spot to do it in tonight. Brody picking up the win over Darby Allin. Again, I thought it was, I really loved it. And I really love the segment that kind of follows the match.
Yeah, absolutely. So, he started choking Darby out again after the match was over. Got to talk about this finish though. Oh my god. So he chokes him out outside the ring, kind of the way he did the other night in the Battle Royale. And he drops him outside the ring. And they get to 9.999 on the count before Darby jumps back in the ring. And Brody's just like, no, this is over. And he picks him up and hits the nastiest Gonzo bomb I think I have ever seen. That was absolutely disgusting. That move is insane. So he hits the worst Gonzo bomb I've ever seen. 1, 2, 3. And then he starts choking him out again after the match, obviously to get Sting to come down to the ring. Sting starts to come down, and we get Miro coming out, and they just kind of have a big old stare down. What did you think of this? Did you want more from this Miro part? Because it was just, more confused old man Jeff here.
God damn it! All right, hold on. It's that time of the week again, everyone. Old man Jeff forgot to take his pills, and now it's up to me to save the day. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing excellent.
Okay, all right. So, I didn't want this to become a weekly thing, but we are currently week 4 within the first 10 minutes of the show. I have to grab the mic and educate you, which is fine. That's why I do it, because remember, #Rome knows.
Yeah.
So, anyways, no, I thought that this was a really awesome segment. I mean, you're talking about, like, I think the House of Black is one of the hottest things in AEW right now, and there's just so much intrigue for me to this storyline. And the reason for that is, number one, they sprayed Sting with the mist. That's fucking wild. So we don't know what's going to happen there. Could this be a potential, like, leading to a breakup of Sting and Darby? I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a possibility.
Blues
we know
Brothers.
that
What
the
up,
mist
Sean?
corrupts. We know that the mist mostly corrupts. Brody King, the Braun Strowman of AEW. How dare you, sir?
I think that's a perfect comparison, even though Brody is way better than Braun Strowman ever was.
That is not a good comparison. Braun Strowman, the only thing Braun Strowman had going for him was that he was a very big man.
Choo-choo.
The guy is an awful wrestler. He's not good. What's up, Sean? I feel like we haven't seen Sean in a few weeks. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think that's. I think you're doing a disservice to Brody King. Brody King's out there flipping, doing a few flips, doing some wrestling, some actual wrestling. It's funny. I saw a Facebook ad. Control Your Narrative is coming to Philly, and I was like, no, thank you. It showed up in my Facebook ads.
As much as I like some of the guys that are at CYN, I'm just like, nah, man. Those stupid rules that you make just make it feel stupid.
Yes. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So
let's fucking go.
They spray Sting, and that's already really cool. Miro comes out. Now, did you notice that Miro had one eye covered, patched up under the glasses?
I was looking at his sunglasses. He was wearing some really nice Ray-Bans, by the way.
Yeah.
And one of the Ray-Bans looked like it was solid black, and the other one looked like it was a normal, like, that copper color that sunglasses look. And I couldn't tell if it was just the lighting. I even said to Purpleness, I was like, hey, was he wearing an eye patch, or was one of those eyes on his sunglasses blacked out? And she thought he had an eye patch on. So
Sean saying that he's been gone for a few. WWE ruined his mental health.
Oh,
Yeah, I know,
no,
man. That's why
stay
you
away,
stay
Sean.
away. Stay away from it, man. It's not worth it.
Not worth
It's
it.
not worth it.
I
at
haven't
all.
watched a minute since this whole Vince stuff broke. Not a
I'm
minute.
proud
dude.
of you, Jeff. I really am, because there was an issue there. Like you were hooked.
I was, man. I was. I've been
you were
watching since I
programmed.
was like 4 years old, basically since I could remember.
You were part of the cult. It was
Oh, yeah.
it was scary. I was doing shows with you, and
Well,
I'm just like, I don't even know this guy.
I
Like,
wasn't
don't-
really buying merch, so I wasn't like deep into it. I was kind of like dipping my
Mm.
toe in the holy
My opinion
water,
is,
but
if you watch the product, you're part of the cult at this point. I mean, I don't know how
much.
you can watch that product and just be okay and also be sane and right in the
but
head.
Titus O'Neil came out and said that the product was for everybody and it was a safe space.
So hold on, I do want to talk about that, but let's finish this real quick. So Miro coming out, there's intrigue to this whole thing, and that's what makes it special. And this whole storyline has gone completely over your head, which is fine. Also, Juan, no, it was TV 14, but then it changed back to PG again. So I know what he's talking about. SummerSlam, the listing on Peacock was TV 14, but it actually changed back to TV PG. They don't know what they want to do. It's a shit show. Anyways, but no, there's so much intrigue to the storyline because Miro is fighting internally the same way Julia Hart was fighting internally.
Okay.
So is Miro going to succumb to the poison and join the House of Black? Or is he stronger than it, and does he overcome it? I honestly see it going either way. I could see it where he just ends up breaking free of it and it not affecting him because he's so powerful. I could see that being the case.
So I understand everything up to the point where you just said, but then Miro coming out and standing there, and then we cut away from this whole issue, so nobody got, nothing happened there. That's where my confusion starts. I'm like, why have him come out like this and interrupt them possibly beating up Sting without,
tease that you don't know. It's mystery. Like they're teasing that Miro is conflicted. They're teasing
so possibly
that
more mind games with Sting as well. I get it.
No, it's not even mind games with Sting. Again, the House of Black doesn't know if Miro is there to join them or not, and Miro doesn't know it either, and that's what makes it really interesting in the storyline. Miro is fighting the corruption of the Black Mist, and he's trying to decide if he wants to give in. He said in his promo last week, the darker it gets, the clearer I see. So he's saying that if he doesn't fight the Mist and he joins the House of Black, his mind is telling him that that's the right way to go, and things make more sense if he just gives in and joins the House of Black. And that's what he's saying there. He's saying that, like, if I give in to the Mist and do what the Mist wants, and I, join the House of Black, I feel like everything makes sense to do that. But at the same time, there's part of him that's fighting the Mist because, again, the Mist corrupts and the Mist poisons. It's the allure of the Black Mist, Jeff.
Gotcha.
And so this storyline right now is Miro doesn't know if he's joining the House of Black or not. So he comes out to the ring to continue to tease that. He comes out and he stands halfway up the ring. Clearly, I don't know if it was attached to the glasses or not, or his face, but there was some sort of patch, which you could see it on the edges of the glasses. And so it's very, like, they're teasing that. And this has nothing to do with Sting. But, like, again, he's there because is he there to help Sting or is he there to help Malachi Black? At the end of the segment, Brody and Malachi are in the ring and they're both looking at Miro. And I believe Brody mouths something along the lines of, why is he here? And I couldn't catch what Miro said, or what Malachi Black said. So, yeah. Juan saying, Rome, how do you know it changed back to PG so quickly? You a Fed fan checking in on WWE pay-per-views every hour? No, Juan. I follow sources on Twitter. And Andrew Zarian was the one that originally retweeted that it was pointed out to him that it was TV 14. And then Andrew Zarian posted the meme from The Office where Michael's like, snip, snap, snap, snip. And because someone had pointed out to Andrew Zarian again that it changed back to TV PG. Do not worry, friends. I may know a lot because #Rome knows. But no, I'm not watching the Fed or checking in with them. I do laugh at them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I go on Twitter and I get a kick out of it because it's like they're so like, yes, TV 14, our product's gonna be better, and TV 14's not going to help. Which we have a shirt for on our merch link down below. You can buy this nice shirt that old Jeffrey made.
So speaking of which, might as well go ahead and show that here real quick. So some people were asking if the merch was ready to go, and the merch is actually ready to go. So let's go. There we go. So we got for Rome's crew here, we got the King's Court hat. We got a nice Broken Tables podcast hat. You can get it a bunch of different colors. We got a TV 14 won't help shirt. This is one of I like this one. I kind of came up with this design. So got some cool stuff you can get there. Let's see, what else do we got? We got the hats, we got the shirts, King's Court shirt, fire me, you fucking mark. We got a regular Broken Tables ladies Razorback tank, zip up hoodies, some stickers, coffee mug, some cool stuff there. And you'll see down on the bottom of the screen here actually is a goal for us. We do have a goal for the donations and for the merchandise to purchase our custom championship belt for Rome. So once we hit those goals, we will have the custom championship for the Broken Predictions champion Rome there. So that would be awesome once we get to all that.
So I just kind of want to tag team with you on this. So number one, you now have the opportunity to join the King's Court. Now you can buy the King's Court shirt and the King's Court hat. I have to get mine on the way. Mine should be shipping out shortly. I have to finish that up.
We haven't actually come up with the name of my crew yet, Juan. So we got to figure that out. We got to come up with it, you know.
I think we should call him the Federation.
The Federation. I'd rather go with the chairman, like other people, like he was saying before.
No, I know. It's a play off the Fed.
We'll figure it out. It'll naturally come over the next week or two.
Yeah, and I'll also say this is that Jeff and I have spent a good amount of time over the weekend kind of working on this championship belt. Anything is appreciated. We want to make the show better for you guys. So, we've been working on the design for the belt, and I think we came up with something that we both like.
I can actually show the sneak peek of one of our final designs.
I don't know. Do we want to do that?
Well, what I was going to do is I was going to say we can come up with maybe 4 or 5 designs that the people who are our donators and purchasers of merchandise can possibly vote on which one they think is the best towards the end there. But, if you don't want to show it yet, that's fine. No worries.
I mean, it's your call. You have it. I mean, if you want to give a sneak peek, I kind of would like to, unveil it when it's a thing. But I mean, if you want to show the design beforehand, I mean, you're the general manager. I'm just the reigning defending champion, currently seeing the podcast through its most successful period of all time. So
absolutely. Well, I think it's not going to be changed much, but we will have a few different variations of what you're about to see, and we'll let the donators are going to vote on the final piece there. So without further ado, here we go. Bam. That is gorgeous. Came up with, the nice blue worldwide globe.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see which one you showed.
We got the Broken Tables podcast up top. Okay, yeah, Broken Predictions Championship down below.
So since we're showing it, this has pretty much been my favorite design that we've done to date. I kind of wanted to go for kind of a traditional classic look with the blue globe, and Jeff was able to kind of make it happen. I think
this is really nice.
I like it a lot. I would like to explore the side plates a little bit more.
Yes.
I think we could do maybe something different with the side plates.
And that's why I believe we're going to have maybe 3 or 4 designs, probably mostly the side plates. I'm pretty set on that blue globe there.
I was
really
going to say,
like that.
I am too. I was going to say, I am also really set on this belt.
Summer Scam t-shirt, Juan. That will be coming up. I got you. By tomorrow, we will have a Summer Scam t-shirt. No problem.
Yeah, I have a few other ideas that Jeff and I are currently in the works for more merch ideas. But you know,
right.
we appreciate you guys tuning in, and if you want to support the show, you know, we want to make the show better. And your guys' support will help us make the show even better for you guys.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get back to our Dynamite review here.
Yeah. So tangent. So one last tangent
ahead.
because just. So I wanted to talk about this this Titus O'Neil opening Raw thing. So
I did mention that, yeah.
Yeah, and I did want to talk about it. I think since we mentioned it, might as well now before we continue on with the Dynamite review. So, for those that don't know, Titus O'Neil opened up Monday Night Raw on Monday, and basically mentioned that Monday Night Raw in WWE is a place where you leave politics at the door, that everyone can come to and feel safe and enjoy the show. And yeah, Juan, the dark blue differentiates it from the light blue that WWE usually has on their belts. Yeah, we're just a big fan of it. I wanted to do a globe look, and I think blue, obviously the globe being blue, I think that was kind of the way to go with it. So
yeah,
but hopefully you guys like that design.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought it was a very weird thing for them to do, and I kind of have a feeling that we might be getting another Vince McMahon story reveal soon.
Yeah.
I like this reeked of PR to me. This reeked of them trying to get out in front of something.
I agree. The only thing I would say is we heard those guys on I forget if it was the Busted Open podcast, but the guys who broke the story from the Wall Street Journal. They were on there and they said, you know, there is more coming, but they didn't like actually know of any more people that were coming out at the moment, but they did acknowledge that there is more stories coming soon. So
yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I thought it was worth talking about, and like it really just kind of reeked of disingenuousness to me.
it was just awkward. Like I went and watched a clip of it and it just felt like, what are you doing? It honestly felt like Vince was supposed to come out and like 6 people backstage literally stopped him. And they were like, well, we already planned for this minute of someone out here. What are we doing? And they were like, Titus, go do something. And he went out there. That's really what it felt like. It was weird.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was just so weird. I was on Twitter and I remember seeing some people talking about it. So I dug around on Twitter and got a clip of it. And I was just like, what is this? Why are they doing this? Like,
yeah, it was odd, man.
Again, it was super awkward and it just came off as really disingenuous to me, and I'm just like,
yeah,
like I don't like all of that was bullshit. It was such bullshit.
What's funny is I think Brian Alvarez said it. You know, they said, "Oh, we don't do politics," and he's like, "Unless you have a storyline that involves politics." Like he's like, "You've done it multiple times in the past." He's like, "Remember when God wrestled?" And it's just like, come on, dude. Come on.
Again, it's just complete bullshit, and it's just like, oh yeah, we don't bring politics into it. Like really, like the whole reason they went TV PG, don't forget, is because Linda was running for senator. Like that was kind of one of the big dominoes that led to them going TV PG in the first place. So like you kind of have focused your business structure around, you know, politics and, you know, apart from just other things. It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. It's asinine.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I just wanted to touch on that real quick. We may move on.
Yep. All right, so next up was a quick promo with Hobbs and Starks challenging some guy is what I wrote down, but his name is Cole Carter.
So there is a bit of a funny story here. So Cole Carter was recently released by NXT. He was there's this guy, I don't watch NXT, but he's like a mobster character, I guess, or like a gangster character.
Yes, Tony D'Angelo. It's Tony D.
That guy. Sure. Yeah, right.
How you doing?
Of course you know. So Cole Carter was, I guess, under his stable or something.
Yes.
And when he got released, they wrote him off TV by saying that he was sleeping with the fishes because they're mobsters.
Yeah, they murdered him.
Yeah, they murdered him, and they said he was sleeping with the fishes. And so Ricky Starks sees this guy And he's like, "Oh, I thought last we saw from you, you were sleeping with the fishes." Which I really appreciated that. It's also kind of ironic that the guy that was sleeping with the fishes was on Shark Week.
Yes,
You know.
that is a really, oh my God. Did they plan that, man? Because that's
I don't know.
4D
but
chess right there.
Yeah, it's really smart. And again, at first you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And then I Googled it, and it was like, oh yeah, Cole Carter, he was on NXT and he got released and they wrote him off TV by saying he was sleeping with the fishes. And I was like, oh, but Ricky Stark said he was sleeping with the fishes. Oh, and it's Shark Week. Oh, I really appreciate
That's
that.
excellent. That is
It is
excellent.
excellent.
Whoever wrote that had to be Tony. You know, that was excellent, man. Excellent. So basically, Starks put out a FTW Championship Open Challenge, and Cole Carter is the one who accepted the challenge. I think a minute ago I said that they challenged him, but no, they put out an open challenge, and Cole Carter accepted. So we had that match later in the night. Next up here was the best friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta versus John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta. With Orange Cassidy and William Regal on commentary, which was hilarious, by the way. Orange Cassidy barely said anything, but it was great.
William Regal meeting Orange Cassidy was amazing.
Yeah.
He's just like, this is why I like you, because you get into your opponent's minds, and Orange Cassidy's just like,
He's just like, whatever.
whatever, man. But yeah, no, I really loved them meeting. This was an excellent tag team match. I love just like everyone in this match. So this was a great match for me personally. It was so much fun. I also enjoyed the story later, Jeff. Oh, what is Big T leaving?
All right, Big T, have a good night, man.
Is he leaving? Oh,
I don't know if he means he's leaving or what, but later.
Or he's going to talk about it later. I don't know. Anyways, well, yeah, have a good night, Big T. So I thought this was such a fun match, and it was just, I love the storytelling that was here, where it's like, he was like, oh yeah, like it was on Twitter too. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. It was on Twitter, and it was just like the whole storyline is Yuta was with the best friends, and like Chuck Taylor was like, yeah, our son left us because Trent was bullying him. He went and joined a fight club. And that was kind of what the story was, where it was like, Trent's like, I don't like Yuta. So then they're fighting, and Chuck Taylor is trying to keep it civil, and then Yuta starts hitting and beating down on Chuck Taylor, and Chuck Taylor's like, all right, well, fuck this. We're going at it now. And like once that, all the gloves were off, and I love this match. I had a blast with this match.
Yeah, this match was really good. Yuta, I liked how at the beginning Yuta tagged in and he wanted Trent, and Trent kind of backed up and let Chucky T in instead. But once we got Yuta and Trent in the ring, man, this match took off like a freaking rocket to the moon. This was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was just a great back and forth between these guys. Moxley went off on Chucky T, buried him underneath the timekeeper's table at one point, basically threw him over it, didn't break the table, but then flipped the table over on him. He started giving the stomps in the face to Trent, the ode to Bryan Danielson there. Chuck and Trent came in and hit a pile driver on Wheeler Yuta, and he kicked out. And, Regal started explaining to us, he's doing a lot of training on just exactly how to take moves like that and still be able to kick out. That was pretty good how they, used commentary to explain that kick out there. Some this is awesome chants were absolutely deserved here. And we had an amazing finish. Wheeler Yuta hits the seatbelt on Chucky T. That crazy roll up that Wheeler Yuta does. So Wheeler Yuta gets the pin, and Moxley and Yuta take it. I know you like this match, even though your guys lost.
Yeah, it was fine, but like, yeah, the result's fine, but yeah, this is an awesome match. I loved it.
All right, and next up, we got a little video package for Claudio going up against Jonathan Gresham this weekend for the Ring of Honor heavyweight, or is it the heavyweight? The Ring of Honor Championship, the World Championship at Death Before Dishonor. That should be an amazing match. He should have joined the Blackpool Combat Club earlier after being bullied. Oh, I think they pulled the trigger perfectly on that entire storyline. Wheeler Yuta is over as fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, next up was one of my favorite segments of the night, Swerve and Our Glory's title celebration. I'm just really, really big fans of both of these guys, and I thought the way that it ended was fantastic for me. So, Swerve and Keith Lee both come out, and they had a really, really good entrance. They kind of gave both of them, a majority of their song instead of cutting both of them short like they normally do.
Okay.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. We had a rapper named Kevin Gates ringside. I have never heard of him before. Maybe I'll take a look at some of his stuff after the show here, but never heard of him. Maybe he's all right. We shall see. I enjoyed this, man. We had Mark Sterling come out with Tony Nese, and, Tony Nese sticks his finger in their celebratory cake. And as soon as I saw that, I was really hoping we were going to get somebody through the table with the cake, but all we got was Mark Sterling taking the cake to the face from Swerve. And I've seen a lot of cake spots throughout the years. Nyla Rose had a really good one. I like Cake and Violence, bitch. That was really good, but I thought this was one of the best cake-involved scenes I've seen in wrestling. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, I wouldn't say excellent. I thought it was good. I thought it did its job. You're celebrating your champions while also having a celebrity appearance on the show. I understand it, and I definitely think it has some value to it. But and it was funny. It was kind of funny. But no, it was fine. I don't think I liked it nearly as much as you did.
Yeah. I'm just a
especially
huge
'cause I
Swerve
didn't.
fan, and after he put the cake into Sterling's face and he looked into the camera and he licked some of the icing, I was just like, this was
Yeah,
so good.
it was it was kind of funny, but it just felt a little, I guess forced is the word I'm looking for. I don't know exactly what the word I'm looking for is, but it just felt very like, all right, well, this is what it is. So
I think I know why you didn't like it. It did feel like something we would see on the E.
kind of, but it's not even just. I don't think it was like a bad segment. It didn't do anything for me. It was a celebrity appearance, and that's the point of the segment.
Okay.
And that's fine. That's
Yeah.
good. We want to see AEW build its audience, and having celebrities on there doing stuff on the show, it will help. So I'm okay with it. I don't have an issue with it or a problem with it. Existing or being on the show. And I wouldn't say it was bad because it definitely got the job done. It was a fun, lighthearted segment with a celebrity appearance, and and they let the celebrity get involved. He did deck Tony Nese, and so grabbed his chain and decked him. I like that a little.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was fine. Like that was. I wrote it's fine.
Yeah. All right, next up was a backstage promo with the Dark Order. They get attacked by the Butcher and the Blade, and then they get saved by Hangman with a chair. This was kind of interesting. I'm wondering if they're taking this anywhere with the with the Bucks or anything like that soon, because we keep seeing stuff on BTE. But where do you think this is going?
So, it's time for our weekly dose of negative Rome versus positive Rome when it comes to the Dark Order. And I feel bad doing this at this point because there was an amazing article posted today that I shared with Jeff, and I tweeted about it. You guys should definitely check it out. And it's a article about Brody Jr. and him dealing with his dad's death and how AEW stepped in and did so much for him, and how he really wants to be a pro wrestler, and he's going to follow his father's footsteps. And it's a really beautiful article. So I don't want to be negative Rome tonight, because it's like at the end of the day, the Dark Order means something to that kid, and I don't want that to be taken away from him. However, if this is just the continuation of the Dark Order doing nothing, this was a god awful segment. Like, I hate this segment. If it taking it at face value, if it just is what it is, just to get a Hangman on a Rampage match, this segment was awful because the Dark Order, like, why exactly? Like, so like John Silver wanted to talk to the Butcher because John Silver is the meat man and he's the Butcher, and I'm just like you guys have literally fought these guys before and you guys don't get along. Why would you ask to speak to the Butcher because he's the Butcher and you're the meat man? So like it was just kind of a dumb. The starting point was just dumb for me, and yeah, well, I think you're correct there. I think Anna Jay is also leaving the Dark Order with her turning heel, which we'll talk about. But it's just like, well, how did we get to this point? And then of course, like they have Butch shirts, so they're pushing the BTE gimmick with Adam Cole because he was called Butch. He's like, oh, you're Butch too, so here's a shirt. And this, like, I really disliked this at face value, and so the Butcher and the Blade start beating the shit out of the Dark Order, and they knock Reynolds out with a chair, I think it was. No, they threw him into a brick wall.
Yeah.
And then like right before they could do the same to Silver, Hangman shows up with a chair and saves Silver, which leads to a tag match on Rampage on Friday. And again, negative Rome at face value. It's bad. It's a bad segment in my opinion. I think this segment sucked. like I'm sorry. Like I don't usually come away with things super negatively with AEW. I think they generally at worst are usually just fine. But like at face value, I hated the segment. Now positive Rome, if this is the continuation of them building up Wyndham, they could say, Hangman, you were supposed to be our leader, but you weren't there in time to save Reynolds. And like I see how they could be going in that direction still, because it seems like Hangman is once again involved with the Dark Order a little bit more. So yeah, this is just a weekly thing where I just kind of feel like I have to lay it out both ways because I see it going both ways. And I'm at the point now where I refuse. Like, if I had to bet money, I would say Wyndham's coming to AEW, but I'm at the point now where I'm not going to openly assume or fantasy book that he is. So I'm going to look at it negative Rome and positive Rome. And negative Rome hated this segment. Positive Rome sees this as the next step to get Wyndham into AEW.
Yeah. Now, I actually didn't see this one as much of a step for Wyndham as I did the Anna Jay heel turn. I actually think that is more of a signal for Wyndham coming in the future. But
we just haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah. Now, I think Tony Khan likes John Silver's comedy just a little bit too much. Like he enjoys what Silver does on BTE, and he's like, hey, do that on Dynamite. And I'm like, sometimes Silver takes it too far. You know what I mean? But like this one, he didn't take it too far or anything, but his humor is getting a little dry. The meat man thing, like that's not like a serious gimmick for, a Dynamite television match. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it kind of fell short for me as well.
Yeah, and I get it, and I do think John Silver is very funny. I watch BT every week, and he cracks me up every single week. And again, I don't dislike John Silver. It's just like the comedy didn't work in this situation.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It fell apart for me. Yep. Juan saying he would like to see Adam Page and Orange Cassidy feud, or even team up together. Yeah, that would be really cool.
I could get into that too.
You really? You don't like Orange Cassidy? That's surprising.
Well, I mean, I like him. I just don't like seeing him winning. There you
go. So then, yeah, you don't like Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. All right.
Man's one of the most over talent in the company. You don't like him.
So next up was Christian and Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes. I mean, what else can you say other than Luchasaurus squashes both of them, choke slams them both, pins them. And all of a sudden, while they're celebrating in the ring, Luchasaurus has Christian up on his shoulders. We hear Jungle Boy's music, and Jungle Boy has returned. He had a little bit of a scruffy beard going on, and he had a chair with him, and he looked pretty good. And Luchasaurus meets him on the ramp, Jungle Boy just kind of gives him a little look, and Luchasaurus turns and joins Jungle Boy on the ramp immediately, essentially. And Jungle Boy chases Christian Cage out of the arena through the crowd. What did you think of the ending of this one?
Well, number one, I was kind of disappointed with the fans. I felt like I popped for Jungle Boy, and I was really excited to see Jungle Boy back. I feel like the fans kind of didn't give him the reaction he probably should have gotten.
I thought they did.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't hear it very well, but I was just sitting there like, oh, I thought the fans could have done better to kind of
They probably could
be
have.
more excited to see him. I don't know. Maybe the mic. I don't know. I didn't hear it very as strongly as I thought it would have. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. Like, so they're not going to have Jungle Boy go through Luchasaurus to get to Christian, but it does make sense that Luchasaurus would not betray Jungle Boy. I mean, he's known him since he was like 8 years old. So, yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. I mean, it makes more sense in the to begin with, that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus would not break up. So, I'm a little sad because I feel like we're not going to see scary Luchasaurus anymore. But
Yeah, it just felt too soon. Everybody's really liking this version of Luchasaurus. Like, we thought we had a new Kane and stuff. And does this mean they're taking it away, or is he going to stay that way with Jungle Boy now?
I feel like it's probably going to go back to normal, and I'm not against it. I think for me, it's kind of like 6 eggs one way, half a dozen the other. I think that Luchasaurus is fucking awesome either way. So, I'm cool with it. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy's relationship reminds Juan of Kane and Undertaker, where they have a brotherhood. Yeah, except for the fact that Kane and Undertaker tried to kill each other multiple times over the course of their WWE careers. But yeah, no, I think that it makes more sense for Luchasaurus to not go against Jungle Boy. You know what I mean? And
No, I agree with that.
we don't need to break up every tag team. Like, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus can both have successful singles careers and still be Jurassic Express. Like, they don't need to break up. We can have tag teams that coexist. That is not a thing here that, like, we need to, like, be concerned with. It's not like we're throwing our tag titles in the trash can. Like, who would do that? That would be ridiculous, and defy all logic.
Dude, did you see? So since we're mentioning that, in
Sure.
NXT, Cora Jade dropped her own NXT Women's Tag Team Championship into a trash can that was in the middle of the ramp to come to the ring, by the way, which I've never seen a trash can on the way to the ring ever in my life before, but all of a sudden there was one there for her. She drops her own tag championship into the trash, and at the bottom of said trash can was a plate from catering, right? One of those plates that's separated into like the 3 sections, and the food was painted on instead of actual food on the plate. What the hell was that? What was that? How do you Medusa your own championship on your own show? All right, just had to get that off my chest real fast.
So here's the thing, right? I know that usually #Rome knows, but I don't fucking know about that. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't understand how you can do that to your championship. And all I'm saying is, maybe Sasha Banks and Naomi were right. Maybe women aren't respected over there. And I kind of feel really bad for like Bayley, because I was on Twitter on Tuesday night and I saw that everyone was like freaking out about the championship thing, and Cora Jade, whatever the fuck her name is, throwing the belt in the trash can, and Bayley like tweets about it and says like, I guess I have more work to do, and I'm just like,
yeah, but your tag partner's gone.
Right, I don't know, man. I just again, like, at what point do we stop feeling bad for the people that are there? Like, I don't have sympathy for people that are in that company. Like, maybe like a few years ago I would have felt really bad for Bayley there, but I'm just like, bro, like,
yeah,
just stop. Like, just stop thinking you're going to change that place, because nobody has been able to fucking change that place.
Yeah,
It's been the same fucking way for fucking decades, and just like just stop. Just stop thinking that you could be the one that can change it.
Stop giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's what I was doing for so long,
you know, like
man. For
just
so
like let's
long.
stop with it. Just stop doing it. It's awful.
right.
It's an awful thing to do.
To get back on track here, Juan just made an amazing point that I actually really wanted to happen here. When Christian was up on Luchasaurus's shoulders and Jungle Boy's music hit, he should have kept him up on his shoulders all the way till he got down there and then did the whole Batista thing and drop him.
Yeah.
But maybe then we wouldn't have gotten Jungle Boy chasing him out of the arena. I think they wanted
Right,
that
well,
for
that's-
some sort of visual of Christian literally running from Jungle Boy. Like, why would he run from him?
Right. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't like I think that the way they ended up doing it was a lot more impactful and a lot more powerful.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy really wants to get his hands on Christian, and he did not. So
I agree, Juan. That is actually one of my favorite moments in wrestling history. The whole Triple H Batista thumbs up, thumbs down thing. One of my favorite moments in history. All right, so next up, the Gun Club cuts another promo on the Acclaimed. He basically, I think it's Colton Gunn has challenged Max Caster to a rap battle. And I don't know if Miyaja is still here, but Miyaja totally called this last week. Miyaja said there was going to be a rap battle coming, and yeah, I think this is going to be good.
Austin Gunn.
Austin Gunn. That's Austin? Okay, Colton is the skinny one that looks like his dad? All right.
Yeah. I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I think I'm right. But yeah, no, I thought this was a really great segment, and I am very excited for the rap battle. I thought it was great that Austin was like rapping like butt rut. Like I'm already warmed up.
Yeah,
Just
it was
like,
good.
oh no. This is gonna be excellent. Like you gotta tune in to see this on Friday. Like you have to.
Yep,
Gonna
I
be
can't
awesome.
wait. Then we had JR coming out for his 9 o'clock, Dynamite time to join the commentary table. Next up was the FTW Open Challenge for Ricky Starks. Oh, go ahead.
So I kind of just wanted to put this in here because this is where it happens. So I want to make sure, and it's not like people don't, but like JR is the GOAT of wrestling commentary. This man, like, I appreciate this man so much. So he opens up this match, right? The Ftw Championship match. And Taz, and which he's done this since the FTW Championship became a thing in AEW. He has made it clear, like, this is not an officially recognized title in AEW. This title is more of a pride thing. It doesn't really mean much. And JR is like, no, Taz, you're wrong. This belt, by people in the know, it's known and respected. It is defended. It is a championship, whether it's recognized by AEW or not. And I fucking just like, it's moments like those. Like JR gets a lot of shit because he's getting older, and sometimes maybe he refers to Kenny Omega as the WWE champion. Maybe sometimes he says Daniel Bryan instead of Bryan Danielson. Sometimes he makes mistakes. But like, god damn it, if JR just doesn't, JR can get anything that like fucking over. Like if you need more proof of that, just like think back to Forbidden Door, how he was putting over Tanahashi and Okada. Like you would like he was saying this guy was like Bret Hart. He was just putting guys over. He was selling things that need to be sold. And it's not like a major thing, but it was just something I really wanted to touch on here. Yeah, exactly. Juan saying Taz is treating it like it's the 24/7 title in WWE. Yeah, right. And JR is like, no, the fuck it's not. It is a championship with prestige that has been defended, over the course of, at this point, 30 years. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And like Taz at that point is like, well, yeah, I mean, like Sabu was a champion and I was a champion, and like, yeah, well, I'm saying JR put Taz in check, straightened him out. Like, yes, like make JR made it matter.
And
He
it's
made this
funny,
title matter.
and that's funny too because it's kind of like that's like Taz's title. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, well, I think that Taz was kind of putting it in a way where the point of the FTW Championship was it's an outsider thing. It's like it's FTW, fuck the world. It's not for the win, it's fuck the world. That's what the title stands for. And like Taz always, when Taz brought the belt out along with Bill Alonso in ECW, shout out to Philly ECW.
ECW.
That was the point of it. It was a fuck the world mentality. We don't need your ECW World Championship because we have our own championship. So like I think that in today's AEW landscape, Taz and probably to an extent Tony Khan, they want to make it clear that this is not a sanctioned title. But JR making it known like, no, this is a world championship, and those in the know respect the champion and respect its prestige, and that's why it matters. And I was like, I just wrote it down in my notes. I wanted to touch on it. I was like, thank you, JR. Thank you so much for just making things matter. Just being the best commentator. Like, I understand that, maybe he's not the quickest or the most precise at this point of his career, but like that's how you put something over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Just perfect. Take notes for everyone. Seriously.
So again, this young man's name was Cole Carter, is what they're calling him here. He is the gentleman from NXT that was murdered by Tony D'Angelo, the mobster guy. He is
I'll take your word for it. I don't watch NXT like you do.
I actually don't. I actually didn't even know that was the guy until you had just told us, but I did know that Tony D'Angelo murdered somebody. I just didn't know it was this guy. So this guy, this Cole guy, he actually looked really good in this match. Him and Ricky Starks put on a great freaking match here. Ricky looked absolutely incredible. There was one spot that kind of bothered me because they had it during the commercial, is when Ricky walked the top rope and he was dancing up on the top rope doing his mannerisms. That was incredible, and we had to see it in the little picture-in-picture. I was really jealous of, the people watching on Fight TV who got to see that in full screen, because that looked awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. It was good. It felt like a tryout match for him, obviously.
It did.
Honestly. So, I mean, he made Ricky Starks look really good. So,
absolutely, I think they might give him a shot because he looked good. He was tall. I didn't expect him to be that tall.
It was kind of weird, but
Yeah. So he missed a 450 splash from the top ropes. Cole did anyway. Missed a 450 splash. Basically landed on his face. Ricky Starks hits his spear for the 1, 2, 3. And after the match, it sounded like Ricky was making another challenge for another open challenge. He said, "Somebody come on out here." And we get Danhausen answering the call. And I don't know if it was supposed to look like he was scared of Danhausen or he just didn't want to face him, but he says, "Oh, I didn't mean right now, so we're going to do this next week." I can't wait for this match. I really like Danhausen. Last time we saw him in the ring, he looked absolutely fantastic. So,
yeah, I think this is going to be a really great match for next week. Yeah, I love Danhausen. I love Ricky Starks, so I'm down.
Oh man, Juan, Tony D'Angelo and Matt Menard, Daddy Magic. Just hearing a promo between those two would be hilarious. All right, so next up was, let's see, yeah, it was Tony Schiavone with Statlander, Athena, and Willow. And it sounded like they were breaking the news to us that Statlander was banned from ringside due to Layla Gray not being cleared to wrestle, correct?
Yeah, so as of this morning, early this afternoon, it was a trios match. And then as Dynamite was going on the air, they were showing all the matches, and it was a tag. It was changed to a tag match. I mean, the assumption would be that Layla Gray either is out because of a sudden case of COVID, or maybe she had a family emergency. But so she wasn't there, so they changed it to a tag match. And this promo kind of painted it in a light where clearly Athena's going to be the first challenger to Jade between the two of them. Because Athena's like, well, what if you go for the AEW Women's Championship and I go for the TBS Championship? And Chris Statlander was kind of like, oh yeah, that's fine. I thought this was fine. I like everyone in this promo, and everyone just kind of, they're doing their own thing. Each character is doing their own thing, and I enjoy each character. Although it did seem kind of weird that Statlander was very willing to just be like, yeah, maybe I'll focus on the women's title.
Yeah,
I don't think she should do that.
That didn't sit well with me. That felt to
Yeah.
me like the beginning of Statlander and Athena having a little bit of a, like I said, I think they're both going to want that TBS title and they're going to go head to head for who gets to go after it.
Yeah, probably. Because again, it didn't really sit right with me. And yeah, Statlander got banned from ringside for the match coming up. And yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it was a good segment. I mean, I think everyone involved did a good job. Just we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, whatever comic character you want to say, Santino, Doink, there's been guys all over the place. Yeah, that's Danhausen for AEW. Same with I don't want to put Orange Cassidy quite in that boat because he is a way better wrestler than any of the comic guys we've seen in the past. And he's not really a comic guy, to be honest. He's just doesn't care. So,
Yeah, if you were going to disrespect Orange Cassidy one more time, I swear to the Lord.
I don't disrespect him at all. He just, he doesn't care. Damn it, my hoodie's driving me crazy here. All right.
You will not disrespect Orange Cassidy in front of me. Like, you're not doing it. We're not doing it. Like, I will literally fire you from the show the same way that I fired Forrest from the show. Okay?
You can't fire me. I have all of the equipment.
I can figure it out. Don't I still have your laptop? I could figure it out.
That is true.
Right. So, and no offense, Jeff, but out of the two of us, I'm the one keeping things going. So, it's like I could do your job if I had to. I let you do it to feel important, keep you around.
Okay. All right. Next up was FTR and Tony Schiavone in the ring. Two enormous FTR chants. Holy crap. They got the biggest pop of the night easily right here. Amazing promo from Cash and Dax. Dax cut a promo basically talking about his, 5-year-old daughter beating a small hole in her heart with hard work. And Dax says, I'm going to fight like an 8-year-old girl because she is now 8 years old. And he's going to kick the Briscoes' asses. So they were promoting that match this weekend. I don't think they needed to promote this match because we already wanted to see it, but I thought this was a great promo. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we got to keep in mind this is technically a go-home show. I mean, I guess Friday will be the go-home show, but this was kind of the go-home Dynamite for a pay-per-view. I know it's on AEW pay-per-view, so it doesn't 100% feel like that, but it is. So, yeah, I thought this was a great promo. Dax speaking from the heart, taking the real-life experience and kind of translating it into what was a really passionate promo. And, yeah, like you said, like, I don't think they need to sell this match anymore. I think people are generally down for this match and ready to go. Myself included.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Like that, I was already ready to buy this. You know what I'm saying? But I guess they wanted to just kind of push that little bit before this weekend to get as many buys as they can. So that was fine.
Yep.
Next up, I laughed so hard during this next segment. We had Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh. And Sanjay Dutt was wearing a styrofoam shark fin hat the entire promo, and nobody acknowledged it or even said a word about it. And it was one of the funniest things that I have seen in a long time. They cut the same promo that they always cut on Samoa Joe, but Sanjay Dutt just had this just ridiculous red styrofoam shark fin on his head for Shark Week.
So yeah, there was a few people wearing that stuff. What I really loved was that he had the thing on, but he still had the pencil sticking out. It's usually Sanjay Dutt always has the pencil behind his ear.
Yeah.
But this time, because he had the hat on, he had like the pencils like sticking out like this.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just terrific.
I just the way that nobody looked at it weird, nobody acknowledged it or anything. It was just there. That it was so good.
Normal. Yeah, it's normal. It's fine.
All right. And next up we had Jade Cargill with Jermaine Dupri coming out with her. He is an old school rapper. I believe. I don't know if I should say hip hop or rapper, but Jermaine Dupri comes out with Jade Cargill. Also with her was Kiera Hogan. And, again, they told us that Layla Gray was not I don't think they said cleared to compete, did they?
Yeah, I think they said that she wasn't cleared to compete.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that there, but maybe we'll find out something more. Maybe later tonight or tomorrow we'll find out what happened there. But
Juan saying it was a great promo by Dax. It's sad that WWE never let FTR cut promos. Yeah,
yeah, the E totally effed that up.
they F everything up. The writers, man, they just like, oh, we'd rather have 5 guys write for you than let you cut like right from your heart. And again, like that's why FTR got over. FTR getting over is exactly why WWE's method of booking and storylines doesn't work.
Yep.
Because FTR, they got over because they were like, you know what, we're gonna speak from the heart. We just fucking love pro wrestling, and we're gonna go out there and have great matches. And they got over, and they're like you said, the pop tonight for them was the hottest pop of the night. FTR is extremely over. And it's all natural. It's all natural. And you could, like, WWE could do that if they wanted to. The cult is there and they have the machine is there that they could do this, but they just don't.
Yeah.
They just don't.
But I don't know if I'm alone with this, because I thought I saw some people at the beginning of the podcast here saying, the ladies' match was a little lackluster, but I actually really enjoyed this match. I thought Athena and Kiera Hogan carried the shit out of this match for a little while. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great women's tag match. It showed some good stuff from Jade. Athena's gear was 10 out of 10 for me. That was one of my favorite sets of gear I've seen in the women's division in a long time. And Athena goes out there and she smacks Stokely. And during her getting distracted with Stokely, she gets pump kicked by Jade, and she flew into those stairs. And she hit the back of her head on the stairs, and it looked like she was KO'd and done. Jade got back in the ring, and she hits Willow with the Jaded, and 1, 2, 3. Jade and Kiera Hogan win. Like I said, I thought this was a great match. What did you think on this one?
So I'll meet you guys in the middle.
Okay.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was a good match.
I can deal with that.
So this is gonna sound like not an insult, but it's gonna sound like a negative. But it's not. This felt like a match that I would see on Rampage. This just kind of felt like they don't do a lot of things of consequence on Rampage because they don't want the spoilers to get out.
Yeah.
So this felt like a match that you would see on Friday night. It was fun. I don't feel like we really went anywhere with this match. I feel like it happened for the sake of the storyline. They needed to have a match this week, and they just kind of had it. But I mean, it was cool. It was fine. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. And like you said, I think every girl kind of got out there and showed their stuff tonight in this match. And, don't hate it, but it felt like a Rampage match, a match that you have just because it's a fun match to have and it's an enjoyable thing to watch.
Yeah.
But it didn't really move anything along, really.
Well, I think I think it was supposed to be more than it was. We were supposed to have Statlander involved and Layla Gray. Then there was probably going to be story, advancing in that as well. So.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure it was, but again, we got to look at it at face value. And value, this match felt like something they could have put on Rampage.
I agree. Yep. Juan says, random prediction: Jade will lose the championship when AEW holds their first stadium show. I can agree with that if it's anytime soon.
Technically, Arthur Ashe is a stadium show. They've already done a stadium show.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. I think they're talking big stadium, though. I think Juan's thinking like football stadium,
I understand what he's saying. I don't think
you are correct. It's like an 18,000.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's 21. Isn't it?
Loses it in September or November.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a good match. Did what it needed to do. Willow looked great. I really, really hope we sign Willow. I hope she doesn't just stay on as like a random person on Dark here and there. But I want to see that graphic for Willow for sure.
I'm expecting to see her in Ring of Honor. I think she's going to be a Ring of Honor signee.
I'm okay with that. That'll definitely get some eyes on Ring of Honor because people really like Willow.
Yeah.
Next up was a quick promo for Thunderstorm with Tony Schiavone. They get interrupted by Britt and Jamie Hayter, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And I thought this promo was fine. It was what it was. Basically, they were talking about how what's her name, Miyu Yamashita is challenging Thunder Rosa for the championship because she defeated her over in Japan. If you didn't see that match, that was a really good match. I think they put it on Dark, correct? Or was it Elevation? One of those two.
It was on Dark, yeah.
Yeah, it was on Dark. Very good. So if you wanted to see that, it's free on YouTube to go check that match out. Thunder Rosa did lose. Sorry for the spoiler there, but that's the reason that this girl gets the championship match on AEW. So, it almost looked like Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter were challenging Thunderstorm, but then the graphic that they put up just said Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker in action. It didn't say against who.
Yeah, so they didn't straight up challenge Thunderstorm. They just said that they would be in action on Friday. I think it's interesting that we're doing this Thunderstorm versus Britt and Jamie thing still. I wonder if maybe it'll, like, because Britt faced Britt faced Tony Storm already, and Britt already faced Thunder Rosa. So it does seem a little odd, unless Jamie Hayter is the ultimate goal here. It seems a little odd to see this feud still kind of going on. You know what I mean?
I hope Jamie Hayter's the ultimate goal here. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm a hater, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm a hater for sure. Oh yeah. All right, next up was our Barbed Wire Everywhere match, with the Jericho Appreciation Society suspended up in the air in a shark cage. And there was no shark tank down below.
Yeah, I was really disappointed by that because they did not explain it very well, or at least maybe I got ahead of myself. Look, because I guess looking back on it, maybe we just expected too much because it didn't sound feasible to have a shark tank there. But they were like, oh, they're going to be in a shark cage. And I was like, well, a shark cage implies sharks.
Yeah. They did have like a big shark up on the stage though, like a big taxidermied shark.
Yeah, it wasn't like an alive shark though.
No. It was definitely just a stage prop, but it was there.
Yeah, but so I was slightly disappointed by that, amongst other things in this match.
Well, I thought this was an absolutely great match. I loved how it started out with Eddie just walking straight to the ring. Justin Roberts' mic was wrapped in barbed wire. If you didn't notice that part, Taz did mention it, but that was awesome.
The timekeeper's bell was also wrapped in barbed wire.
Yeah, the timekeeper's bell was wrapped in barbed wire, but Eddie immediately grabs the mic from Justin Roberts and just goes to town on Jericho's forehead, cuts him open immediately. So we got first blood right off the bat.
I would also like to just real quickly chime in because we kind of skipped past it, but I love Jericho's entrance.
Yes.
It was great.
The Painmaker entrance was great. Yes, it was.
Yeah, he got the Jericho Vader, we call it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he used the Cody Vader. Yeah.
It's not the Cody Vader. It's the Jericho Vader.
The Jericho Vader. So Eddie took a nasty Hurricane Rana onto barbed wire on a table that was in the ring. The table was not set up, so it did not break. It just really cut Eddie's back up, man. You could see the blood actually like dripping down his back. It was pretty nasty. So they're both bleeding right off the bat in this match. This match was insane, dude. Like the suplex off the apron. So Eddie Kingston picks up Chris Jericho in a suplex through a table off the apron on the side. I popped so hard for that. I know it wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but for whatever reason, I popped so freaking hard. And thank you, Eddie and Chris, for the shout out to the podcast. That was an extra awesome shout out tonight.
Yeah, so I really like this match. I thought this match was a really fun match. It was an excellent match, and I had a blast watching it. The spots were great. It was great action. But I have some issues.
Okay.
I have some issues, as I believe the chat did too earlier. Feel free to chime in whether my points are what you think or whatever issues you had. So, number one, JS was supposed to be in the cage. Why wasn't Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara in the cage too? Like, I remember when they came out to go into the shark cage. I was like, well, that's Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti aren't there. That's definitely noteworthy. And my suspicions were kind of already like, okay. So I don't know. So Ty comes out and Ruby Soho is the one that controlling the cage. Ty and Ruby start fighting. Anna Jay comes out. Anna Jay turns heel and aligns herself with Ty Conti, which was to be expected. And I don't have a problem with them doing that. The problem that I have is I felt like this match should have been Jericho, Kingston, nothing else. And I felt like that they kind of I feel like at the end of the day it kind of soured the ending of the match. I think that having everyone come out and get involved and like so they lower the cage and of course, god damn it, Ty Conti, she can't get the fucking cage open. And so Menard and the smaller members of JAS pop through the bars because the bars aren't thick enough. There's barbed wire on the screen currently.
Yeah, it came up a lot
Okay.
bigger than I thought it was.
You're just kind of sitting there, just like staring at it. Oh, there we go. You're fixing it now. Again, I'm on a delay with the rest of you guys. So, I so of course Ty couldn't get the cage open. So then half the members of JS like squeezed through the bars. Well, it's like, well, what? That kind of ruined it because like, well, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Like, I know it was suspended, but like, I don't know, like you couldn't have squeezed through and then kind of like held yourself down. It wasn't suspended that high up.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that
Juan
they
saying,
squeezed through like that.
yeah, Juan saying this clearly isn't the end between Jericho and Eddie. Eddie looked disappointed at the very end. No, I actually think this was the end. I do think it was the end because Eddie. So, and that's the other thing where I'm kind of conflicted because so Jericho wins the match, but Eddie got what he wanted. Eddie got Jericho to bleed. It wasn't about winning a match. Eddie got Jericho to bleed, and we end the show with Eddie putting Jericho through I think they call it the spider's nest, or the spider web of barbed wire, and it was great and it was awesome. And like, I feel like Eddie got what he wanted here. But at the end of the day, like it's still worth mentioning that Sammy Guevara came out. Oh, you put the barbed wire on Jericho. I see
Yeah.
it. Why you did that now? I just clicked with me. Um, but so I don't know. It kind of soured the ending for me. I felt like this should have been a straight up match with no interference. And then it makes it even worse that Sammy comes out anyway. Like it's not even like okay, like Sammy was in the cage and then came out and cost him the match. Sammy wasn't in the cage and then came out, and it just seemed like it undermined like a lot of the whole point of the match.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made the whole JS being suspended in a shark cage. The only reason it was there was for Shark Week, which is fine, but like at least have it mean something. This was a very rare misstep in my opinion. Tony Khan having things that are supposed to matter not matter.
Yo, Juan's pointing out Ty Conti not being able to open the lock was like when Paul Heyman couldn't get the handcuffs off. That is a really good comparison right there.
No, it is. Yeah, that's fair. Like, and again, like I'm not trying to like show on Ty Conti. It was kind of like well, that didn't make anything better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't help the situation. And it's just I don't know. I enjoyed the match for what it was. It was a really fun match. But like, did we really need after like this whole rivalry went on for 6 months, right? And again, kudos to them because I can't even imagine WWE putting on a program that is enticing to watch after 6 hours, let alone 6 months. You know what I mean? Like this started back in like January, February, and here we are 6 months later, and it was still an excellent feud. And I do think that it's ending. I don't see there being another match unless they really go like unless they do like a barbed wire steel cage like explosion match like they had a barbed wire death match like that's a blow off match right there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was a great match, but the booking of it this is a very rare instance where I am a little let down by Tony Khan's booking here. Um, I understand it though. I understand that they wanted to have Jericho go over and win. And I understand that by having Sammy get involved, it makes Eddie still look strong, and Eddie still gets to do what he wants to do by beating the shit out of Jericho, making him bleed, ending the show through the spider's nest. I get it. Still didn't sit right.
Yeah, I just wish the whole Sammy and Ty Conti part didn't happen. I definitely agree. But this is where when Ty Conti came out, we had her and Ruby Soho were kind of going at it for a moment. And Anna Jay comes out to kind of rescue Ruby Soho for a second. And Ty Conti's like, "What are you doing?" And then Anna Jay's like, "Yeah, wait, what am I doing?" And she turns around and smashes Ruby. So it looks like we have a heel turn for Anna Jay. So I'm actually hoping that this leads to the Dark Order, maybe her convincing all of them to somehow maybe a heel turn or something.
No.
But we'll see.
I don't think so. I think that this is her aligning with Ty Conti, who is aligned with the JAS. I don't think that this is going to be like the Dark Order and the JAS working together.
No. I wouldn't think that either. But I'm thinking TJ might come back as some heels.
But so here's the thing, and again, Negative Rome's going to come out here. I think that the problem is that you have another member of the Dark Order leaving the Dark Order.
She's not leaving the Dark Order. We just a couple weeks ago we said these are the 6. We're not going anywhere with that. She's not leaving.
Dude, she left the Dark Order. The Dark Order are baby faces, and she's a heel.
Okay, until I see it, I don't believe it. They just said these are our 6. We're not going anywhere. I'm telling you.
Dude, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
What does he mean? That doesn't mean anything.
All right, look. Jeff,
they wouldn't have done that spot like that.
I understand your point, and I respect that it's valid. Okay. That being said, no, like this, like again, like sure, positive Rome. You want positive Rome? Yeah, maybe this is the Dark Order turning heel, and they bring Wyndham in, but like it just doesn't. In my mind, it doesn't work. I think you have the JS and you have the Dark Order. You're not going to have these two factions come together and become one faction. Like,
no,
I mean, I guess they could do that, but that's what I'm saying. Ty Conti is a part of JAS, and Anna Jay is a part of the Dark Order. So, thank you, Juan. By the way, we didn't name a fan of the week last week because Jeff made me forget. It's his fault. Juan, you are last week's fan of the week. You're fantastic, sir. Anyways, yeah, it doesn't. They're two different factions, and like that doesn't mean that they can't. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, so like, even if the Dark Order goes heel, you're not going to have these two factions join each other. It just doesn't work. So
No,
Anna Jay either has to be as a heel, she's going to be affiliated with Ty Conti, and she's going to be affiliated with the JS. Last week's promo was the whole point was Ty Conti saying like, "What's wrong with you? We used to be like best friends, and like now you're just like come hang out with me, and like we could be TJ."
Yeah,
TJ.
I don't see the JAS and the Dark Order interacting very much at all, to be honest with you. I just see her becoming heel. And they could even just go with, how John Silver likes to mess with her all the time on BTE and stuff like that. They could even just have them being like disappointed with her. Like, why are you doing this? Anna, what are you doing?
I do think they're going to do a bit on BTE. I do think that, but I think the bit's going to be her leaving. Like, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be like, they're all hanging out and they're going to be like, "Anna, what was that?" And Anna's just going to be like, "You guys are fucking losers. I'm done. I'm done with the Dark Order. I'm tired of you guys." Like, I could see her like going off on them, like really, like being like John, Alex, like, what the fuck were you guys doing picking a fight with the Butcher? But you weren't even picking a fight. You were kind of basically begging to get your ass kicked by this guy. Like, you guys are a bunch of losers. Like, Stu left, Alan left, I'm leaving. This sucks. I'm out. Like, I could totally see them doing that on BTE. And I hope they do that on Dynamite or Rampage because that would lead more towards positive Rome, where I think maybe Anna leaving could lead to Wyndham. So I'm going to be positive about it. However, I'm going to firmly disagree with you that Anna Jay is leaving the Dark Order.
Okay.
Like that's just what it is.
Okay, well, I'm at like not permanently. Like if she's doing what you're saying, like you guys are losers, I'm out. When Wyndham comes back, like she's back. Like she's not permanently gonna leave. There's no way. I don't see it. Not after what they did a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't make any sense.
Yes, congratulations again, Juan. I understand what you're saying. Again, you have a valid argument. However, my argument is better.
We shall see.
We shall. And again, it doesn't make sense for Anna Jay to go back and forth between JS and the Dark Order. It just
No,
doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
I don't know what they're doing there, but
Well, I'll tell you what they're doing. She's leaving the Dark Order.
we'll see. I just think TJ's coming back, and they're just gonna both exist to exist.
I like how Jeff. I love how you're like, I don't know what they're gonna do, and I'm like, well, this is what they're gonna do, and you're like, I don't know. We'll see. As if like you know what they're gonna do, but you just said you don't know what they're going to do.
Well, I mean, like you could say you know, but you don't know. We can guess all we want.
Sure. I mean, yeah, we're just all fancy booking, and having fun, but at the end of the day, it does not make sense for her to work both factions. It just doesn't work.
You know, that's where I kind of agree with you know with the booking a little bit tonight. I was a little disappointed in that because it is slightly confusing at the moment, but you know we'll see.
It's going to become very clear in the coming weeks for you. I promise.
Yep. So I really enjoyed the stretch plum with Jericho wrapped in barbed wire there tonight. That was pretty nice. I thought Jericho was going to tap to that, to be honest with you. But Sammy comes in and hits him with the super kick. We get the Judas effect with the wire still wrapped around Jericho's arm. And that was the 1, 2, 3. But like you said, after the bell, Eddie still got to throw Jericho through, what did you call it there?
I believe it's called a spider's nest.
The spider's nest, yes. That was nasty. Jericho looked stuck. His gear was torn, like his pants were torn, and it looked like he was cut open pretty bad.
I just want to point out Juan in the chat saying that I am in fact the brains of the entire thing. Thank you, Juan. You are correct, sir. Honestly, Juan, if you want to join the King's Court, you know we'd love to have you. You, me, Big T, Jordan, we're taking over.
It's all right. I see how it is, Juan. I see how it is.
Juan could join the King's Court. He can have a seat at the table. Knights of the Round, you know.
I see how it is.
What do you mean? He's hitching his wagon to the winner, you know, to the best. You know what, Jeff? Here's the thing, right?
The
so I was thinking about
fans are, you know, it is what it is.
So, Jeff, I'm willing to offer you the opportunity of a lifetime. Would you like to hear more?
Do tell.
So this Saturday is the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. And I know that I am a fighting champion. So as the reigning defending Broken Predictions champion, Jeff, I am willing to challenge you, sir, to Death Before Dishonor Predictions exhibition match.
So that is a non-title match?
Look, all right, it's an exhibition match. The title won't be on the line, but that's formalities. It's not that big of a deal. It's, you know, you got to win some matches first, Jeff, before you can get a shot at the title, big man. You gotta win. You gotta win one. You haven't won one yet. You gotta at least win one before.
So we will call this a championship contenders match then?
No, not exactly. It's just an exhibition. It's kind of like you remember how it was like the Orange Cassidy versus Adam Cole. They had a lights out match a few months ago.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's an exhibition. Like if you win, you get to be like, hey man, yeah, I beat Rome. Like, hopefully you won't be as sore of a winner. You won't win, but if you do happen to win, hopefully you won't be as sore of a winner as the last guy that I faced in a exhibition match.
He who shall not be named.
Oh, we can name him. He's a piece of shit. We can name him. He's Forrest. Listen, I've known this guy for so long. And the way he acted to me, that's the problem. I've always, when gold's on the line, I've always beaten him. We had the Smash Brothers Championship back in the day when Smash came out for the Wii U. I pre-ordered it, so I got this championship belt, and we made like a Smash championship thing, and I was the champion for that, and he could never handle it. Like it was sad. Like I got the belt because it was my pre-order, and I never had to surrender the belt. It was wild. And it's just like I've always, when it comes to gold, it's always just been. I've just always been ahead of Forrest. So like I'm not surprised that Forrest was a sore loser. I'm not surprised and I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in him. And hopefully, Jeff, that doesn't happen with you. Like I want to have, in the spirit of competition, I want to like face you on Saturday. And I think that we can do that, but you need to promise me right now that win or lose, you're gonna be respectful. Can you promise me that?
Always.
Absolutely. I understand, and I appreciate that, and that's why I'm willing to have this exhibition match with you. Like I would never, like he's fired anyway, but I would never have another match against Forrest ever. Like worst guy to work with. Like didn't take care of me at all. Like if we were wrestling each other, I would have probably landed on my neck and been paralyzed. Like, dude doesn't take care of you. He's,
jeez.
It's not good. Yeah, I know. I went. Yeah, it's fucking wild. But that's just, can't trust the guy. So.
There it goes. Sorry, I had to make sure that was working there, Juan. All right, well, yeah. So I accept your challenge. Looks like on excellent. I guess we'll have to do it on Friday night after Rampage. Hopefully, we'll have the cards set by then.
Yeah, we definitely will, and we'll have our little prediction show, and I'm really excited to have an exhibition match against someone that I respect.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Excellent.
All right, so that's all we had for tonight's episode of Dynamite. What did we get in prepared for Rampage?
All right. Well, this coming Friday on Rampage, we have AEW Rampage Fyter Fest Night 4, the finale of Fyter Fest. First up, we have Butcher and the Blade versus Hangman Adam Page and John Silver. Alex Reynolds is selling the injury, so he will not be in action.
Okay.
I would expect Hangman to win this match. Or, what would be even better, Butcher and Blade to beat Silver. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
I think that would be the way to go with, if you're doing the Wyndham story, you should not have Silver win this match.
No. Yeah, no.
I think that Butcher and Blade should beat John Silver here.
Yeah, I agree.
We have, I'm gonna have to sell this one. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, All Elite Wrestling brings to you the most anticipated matchup in the history of professional wrestling. Like, we're talking like going back to like the Carney days. Like, this is the greatest match of all time. Lee Moriarty, with the ultimate opportunity, will go on to face Dante Martin in what is expected to be the mecca of peace, love, and pro wrestling.
I forgot to find the sounder that was like womp womp womp.
I had to keep the joke going from last week. It was, yeah. So that's happening on Friday. It's gonna be a good match, but it's still just hilarious to me that that's how they sold. They sold this match. Juan saying, do you guys think Kenny Omega will return before or at Arthur Ashe show, or after up until All Out, or will he not even be on All Out? Now, so the word broke today, not today, but the other day, that Kenny Omega's return was imminent. There is currently a plan for a big trios match at All Out, including the Young Bucks. So I don't know if it's going to be. I think that Kenny Omega will be back by All Out. I think it would make a lot of sense for him to return at Arthur Ashe. But part of me thinks it might be a better idea for him to return before Arthur Ashe. Oh, well, I'm sorry. All Out happens before Arthur Ashe. I got my shows confused. No, I
Yeah.
think All Out's where he returns in terms of a match. But if you're going to make the match, he'll probably be back before then. And it's currently July 20th. So we're a little over a month to go before All Out. So I think we're going to see it soon. Meltzer reported that there's a major angle coming up with the Young Bucks that hasn't come to fruition yet. So, yeah, I think Kenny will be back soon. I also thought it was interesting that Will Ospreay just put out a new shirt that's bashing Kenny Omega on it. So, things to keep note of.
Yeah, that shirt that he put out is a picture of him doing the one-winged angel. He performed that move sometime, over the weekend, I believe. And when he pinned the guy, he pulled the guy's arm up. Big T is returned. Yes, sir. We've already gotten past the main event, my guy. Just go rewind a little bit.
Yeah, Big T, why don't you tell us in the chat what you thought of the main event? Glad to see that you're back with us.
Yes.
Big T, you missed it. So I did, in fact, challenge Jeff to an exhibition predictions match for Death Before Dishonor. So I will be facing him in an exhibition match.
Yeah, that should
Saturday.
be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. We got to do curlies. I'll text you a curlies order tomorrow. Are you down for that?
Yeah, I'll actually be working on Saturday, so I'll just grab it before I leave and then...
Yeah, I figured that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, okay. Excellent. But yeah, Big T, let us know what you thought about the main event. Just to kind of, you know what? Screw it. Big T's great. We're not going to go over a whole discussion, but Jeff liked the match a lot. I liked the match too. I hated how much interference there was in the match. So
yeah, that was my only downside to the match as well.
Yeah,
he probably rewound. He's probably going back to see what we said.
Probably. That's
all right. So that sounds like a good Rampage. Did you get through all the matches?
Not yet. Sorry.
Nope. Keep going.
Big T came back and everything went crazy. He had a family emergency.
Oh.
He thought it was an okay match. Eddie seemed kind of off. I hope everything's okay, Big T.
Yes, absolutely.
But glad you're back. So, assuming that you're back means everything's well. So, I'm happy to hear that everything's well. Hopefully it is.
I thought Eddie seemed fine. I didn't think anybody seemed off or anything. I don't know.
I think towards the end of the match, he seemed a little off. He seemed like he was stumbling in a few places. But he could also have been in pain because he was landing on barbed wire tables.
Yeah, his back was not good, and his leg, he got that barbed wire stuck in his hamstring. He had to pull it out. I think he might have been in some pain.
So a funny little thing was, the wife promised me, I made her promise that we'd watch this match together, knowing that she wasn't going to do it.
Oh, she lasted a minute?
She actually ended up watching not that match, but she sat down around 8:50ish, and she watched all the way up to the main event. And Eddie Kingston comes out, and he's wrapped.
Yep.
Up his arms. Now I know why. Funk. I know why he's wrapped. Juan saying he hoping he could see Death Before Dishonor on a stream. I'll tell you what, Juan. Well, we will be doing a recap. So if you don't catch it, we will be going over everything and talking about everything. So feel free to check back in with us. Saturday night.
Juan, I'll message you on Discord. I got one for you.
Jeff, you can't say that on the stream. Support the official release of AEW.
Support the official release of the Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Jeff.
No, it's not an illegal stream, but I know where you can go. So yeah, I'm sorry. Did you say there was another match on Rampage there?
$5? Jesus.
What's that?
Isn't the Honor Club $5?
Actually, yeah, Juan. Honor Club is only $9.99 on the Fight app, and you get all their pay-per-views. So
yeah. I'm just not paying for the Honor Club right now because I think they're going to be changing it. So I don't know. But if that makes sense for you, do it that way.
Yeah.
Anyways, back on track. Let's support the official release. That's all I'm going to say. Jesus Christ. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter will be in action on Friday night on Rampage. We will also get the rap battle of the century, Austin Gunn versus Max Caster. I can't wait until Max Caster absolutely obliterates Austin Gunn.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be a massacre.
This is must-see TV on Friday night. This is the kind of thing you put on a Friday night Rampage show. This is must-see in my opinion.
Now, remember, we saw at least 2 rappers tonight that were in the audience for Dynamite, meaning that they are still gonna be there for Rampage. So this rap battle, we may get. I think that was Jermaine Dupri. I think I had for Jade.
Yeah.
I mean, he was amazing. And I don't know who that new guy Kevin was, but he could be good too. You never know if those two show up for this rap battle.
So, real quickly before we get into Dynamite for next week, Big T kind of raised a point that I actually wrote down in my notes I was going to talk about after the preview. So, yes, this was the first time that they plugged an HBO Max show the way they did with the new Game of Thrones. So, this was I think that if there's one thing to take away from this show, from this Dynamite, it is that the TV deal, like the relationship between the network and AEW, is flourishing right now. It is absolutely doing phenomenally. Like the amount of pushing of Shark Week done not via advertising but via the actual show was like excellent. Like they had
Let's fucking
aprons, they obviously had the shark cage gimmick, there's so many things that they were doing. They had like Sharky, whatever that was. They're really selling Shark Week, and then also you have them plugging the trailer for their new Game of Thrones thing. Like I thought that was really awesome too. So like if you're gonna take anything away from this show, and I know it was a good show with some great matches and some fine promos. Again, on the promo side, I thought this was one of the weaker AEW Dynamites, but in terms of the show as a whole, if you're going to take anything away from this, take away from it the fact that AEW seems to be in very good standings with Warner Media and Discovery. Feel good about the TV deal. Feel good that all of our wrestlers that we love in AEW are going to get paid.
Oh yeah,
because they're going to get that great TV deal, and Tony Khan is going to bump everybody's pay up.
Yeah, man, and they're saying that this next AEW TV deal could be a historic deal. So
yeah,
that
they're
would be
really
incredible.
Yeah, they are talking about that. Juan saying, "Oh, it disappeared off the chat." Hold on, let me pull it up. What did Juan just say? Can you read it for me real quick?
He was saying he thought all fight pay-per-views were only available in the US before you had mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Big T, that would be incredible. The entire Ring of Honor back catalog and the entire AEW back catalog on HBO Max. I would buy it in an instant.
Well, HBO Max is really good regardless, but yeah, that would just make it so like I
wouldn't even hesitate. Click.
Dude, I would go back and watch all of CM Punk, and like I would watch CM Punk and Samoa Joe. That's a great match. I would go back and watch there's so many great Ring of Honor matches that you could go back and watch. Like Bryan Danielson versus Punk and amongst other things. It's just
I was going with old school AEW. I want to go back to the first Dynamite and just start watching from the beginning.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be down to do that too. If we can do that, I would do like a kind of like a look back retrospect show.
When the WWE Network first became a thing, I went back and started watching Raw from the beginning. It was freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, Raw from the beginning wasn't awesome, but the fact that you could do it was awesome.
Yeah.
Man, Raw 93 through 95, that was hard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was great.
That was before my time, so I didn't watch it growing up in the real time. But man, I feel bad for people that that was their product. Because I don't think WCW wasn't on the national level yet until Nitro. So pre Nitro, what are they even doing there? And Raw is just awful for pre Nitro. I mean, even during the early days of Nitro, it's awful. It doesn't get good until 97.
It doesn't get good till the NWO shows up, really.
Yeah. And yeah, Juan, AEW pay-per-views for $5, $10 like WWE pay-per-views on Peacock. Maybe coming sooner than we expected. Well, so I will say this. HBO Max does cost more than Peacock. I think it's $15 a month. But, I mean, this is just me personally. I had HBO Max, and HBO Max is fucking awesome. It's a great service. We cut it off just because we were trying to save a little bit of money. Because at one point we had all the streaming services, and we just needed to cut back.
Yeah.
But at $15 a month, even I think Juan even just said, even at $25, it's worth it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. If
Yeah.
the pay-per-views come with it, absolutely.
Yeah, Big T said he would also binge the hell out of Dynamite. Yeah, if when this becomes a thing, I think we might do something like that. We might do something special where we go back and retrospectively watch
Oh,
Dynamite and
do some old watch-alongs. Oh man, that would be fun.
yeah, or maybe like an episode of the podcast for like every week or every 2 weeks we do like an episode of Dynamite and see what we
Yeah.
see what we think. Anyways, so Death Before Dishonor, I didn't get to write down the additions to the card, but Willow Nightingale was added to the pre-show. I forgot what they called it. They didn't call it the buy-in. They called it something else.
I missed it
She
too.
will be in action on the pre-show, and they also, I didn't know that. This is going to sound really stupid. I didn't know that Ring of Honor had a 6-man tag team championships.
They have
trios tag.
like trios tags, right?
Yeah, they have a trios championship.
Yes, they do.
I wasn't really following the Ring of Honor product, so I didn't. This is the first I'd heard about it. But the trios titles will be on the line. And I don't remember who the champions were, but they're going to be defending against Dalton Castle and the Boys.
Nice. Dalton Castle, my guy with the best entrance in wrestling.
It is really good. But so that was added
Chickadees.
towards that was added towards Death Before Dishonor. It was also announced that more announcements would be made for Dynamite on Saturday night, so we'll have some stuff to react to Saturday night. So for Dynamite next week is Dynamite Fight for the Fallen, which is usually a special theme show that follows Fyter Fest. We have 2 matches announced so far. We have the AEW Women's Championship, Thunder Rosa versus Miyu Yamashita, as you mentioned earlier. And we also have Ricky Starks versus Danhausen for the FTW Championship.
That's going to be good.
Yep. Big T saying he had heard a while ago HBO Max was looking to do live programming. What if Ring of Honor was there live each week and continued their individual touring? Yeah,
Yes.
I think that would be awesome. I think it's not just HBO Max. It's in general. It's Warner Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery. They're really pushing for sports. And so AEW is going to be a big part of that, and so will Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I'm expecting an announcement on Saturday about Ring of Honor's like regularly scheduled programming.
I hope so.
I'll say this. So like watching Dark the last like week or two, like I think if you're not going to do anything more with Ring of Honor in terms of like, I would just have it replace Dark's time slot on Tuesday. Have Elevation be the AEW show, have Ring of Honor filmed in Orlando, do your tapings. And yeah, have Ring of Honor take the spot of Dark. That's what I would do. I would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
At least, because Ring of Honor has had such a presence on Dark and Elevation the last few weeks and it's been good. It's been really good. So let's
I'm all for a live show. If HBO Max wants to have a live show, I'm all for it. So.
Juan's saying, do you think ROH will overtake Impact pretty soon? So,
if they get a weekly show, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on if they. I don't think they're gonna make it to TV. But I mean, if Ring of Honor doesn't replace Dark, it's probably gonna go head to head with Impact. I mean, you're already doing a show on Monday. You're already doing a show on Tuesday. You're already doing a show on Wednesday. And then Friday's Rampage. So, you have to, if you're going to do Ring of Honor, you're going to do it on Thursday nights.
I mean, it's not unheard of for Saturday or Sundays, man.
I don't think they'll do that because of pay-per-views.
I guess so, but I mean, yeah.
So, here's the thing, right? So, Saturday, especially, if they're getting TV, which I don't think they are, but if they're getting TV, Saturday is a notoriously bad day for television. Yeah. So if you're gonna go on Saturday night, you're setting Ring of Honor up for failure. TV ratings on Saturdays are just not good. People don't watch TV on Saturdays. People go out, they have fun, or they play video game. They're nobody's watching TV on Saturdays.
I say go up against NXT, put it on Tuesday.
But that's what I'm saying. You already have Dark on Tuesday.
Well, I do think you were right there. If we get Ring of Honor with a steady weekly show, there's no reason to have 2 Dark and Elevation. You can get rid of one of those.
Yeah, I would also admittedly advise Tony Khan to be careful about how much content he's putting out in terms of a daily basis.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem with the hours necessarily. I mean, I've been pushing for Rampage to go 2 hours. But I would caution him to be careful, because if you're doing an hour on Monday, an hour and a half on Tuesday, Big T, yes, Big T. So I talked about it at the beginning of the show. Was it meant for me? Jeff, can you put the sign back on the screen, please? So, was the sign meant for me? I'm going to assume yes, it was. I don't know who made the sign, but just remember, hashtag Rome knows. So, yeah, the show opened with this, right? And it was funny because I actually paused to get this picture. I took this picture because I also saw it. And, you know, the fans, they know. They had, you know, they know that I'm the champion. They know that the King's Court is always in session. I thought it was a very interesting sign. Yeah. It also gave me a double take. I was like, wait a second. It was funny because somebody asked me, somebody else was watching the show, and they texted me and they were like, "Oh, was that sign for you in the show?" And I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah. And he's like, "Didn't Big T say he was going to a show?" And I was like, "No, Big T said he was going to try to go to Death Before Dishonor." And we were talking on Discord today, so I think Big T would have said something if he had made a sign for Dynamite tonight and went to Dynamite. So
Right.
no, we didn't think it was Big T. So I was like, I don't know, man. So there's a fan out there, and Jeff did research on the hashtag, and nothing really makes sense on there either. So yeah, we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna say that this was a fan of the podcast, fan of me, fan of the championship. You know, making sure that people knew that hashtag Rome knows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so appreciate everyone as always. Oh, you're going to Dynamite next week.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we're conflicted here because we're trying to go to Arthur Ashe, but then of course they announced tonight that they're going to be back in Philly the week after Arthur Ashe. So I mean, I'm personally down to go to both, but I mean we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, if it's possible to go to both, I'm absolutely down. So we'll see. We'll try to figure it all out there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now real quick before we get out of here tonight, I did want to show you guys something I've been working on. It's definitely not finished. It's our, the gaming scene that we may use in the future. So let me pop over to that one here real quick. So I found this game called Wrestling GM, where we essentially will become Tony Khan. And in this game, we can choose to purchase a whole bunch. Let me go back to the beginning here. We can choose to purchase a whole bunch of wrestling organizations. Well, we get to purchase one essentially, but we can choose from the United States has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different organizations. Canada has 3. Mexico has 3. Europe has 3, and Japan has 3. And Japan actually has a Joshi one, which is a all-female federation there. So basically, we will be Tony Khan. We get to purchase the company we want. We get to create wrestlers. We get to create the matches and everything. So let me load up one of mine real fast to show you guys. So we'll go to the history of, let's see here, the history. So my first show, what I did is I put on a match with these two guys and these guys and these guys. And they all kind of correspond to certain wrestlers in the world right now. So like right now you got this guy and this guy are like FTR. This guy here and this guy are like the Lucha Brothers. So I think this is going to be really fun. We can create our own wrestlers. We can pick up free agents from other companies that we didn't purchase, which is actually really cool. It's like having guys come through a forbidden door. And the way that we book matches here, let me show you. So we got the fight card. So far for, this one was just an experiment for me, but we have the women's champion, Fiona Fire, versus a woman named Simone. Now, each wrestler has like an amount of fans that they have. I'm showing you how popular they are and stuff like that. And you choose what type of match you want. So on this one, I chose a first blood match. The winner will be chosen. I made the match about 14 minutes. And let's show you what an ad segment looks like. So if we were going to add a 1 versus 1 match here, we can choose the match type. So it can be a normal match, can be a hardcore match, cage match, tables match, of course. And each type of match has, 2 stars for the prestige and 2 stars for the intensity. And essentially what we do is we pick wrestlers and we create a 90-minute card. We tell it 14 minutes, for this match. This is a segment that's going to be a 2v1 betrayal angle. I had this girl here, Simone. She's going to beat up the champion after her match with one of her friends. You can do all kinds of stuff like that. So one-on-one, there's all these matches here. And then there's angles. You can do promos, backstage attacks. Like, it's really in-depth here. I really, really enjoy messing around with this thing. So yeah, one of these days we'll play this on stream. Maybe on a Monday we'll do the Broken Tables podcast game night or something, or maybe the Broken Consoles podcast. We'll see. Haven't really decided it all yet, but this looks really fun, and especially when that AEW video game comes out, we're definitely going to be playing that a lot.
Yeah.
So, just wanted to show you guys that, something I've been working on, not finished yet, but should be fun.
Big T needs a link to the Discord.
What was that?
Big T needs a link to the Discord.
All right. If you need a link to the Discord, just hit exclamation Discord in the chat. Juan, if you're there, can you hit that for me? Or I can do it here. There we go. I wasn't typing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it worked. All right. So you got anything else you wanted to add for tonight?
No. I think we're good.
Yeah, Juan, they all represent wrestlers throughout the wrestling world. They didn't want to copy them right off, because of, I guess, copyright type stuff. But yeah, they all correspond to somebody. And then we get to create our own. And it's not expensive at all to create your own. So we'll be letting people in chat create their own wrestlers, and that's going to be awesome.
There seems to be an issue with the Nightbot in the Discord.
All right, 1 second.
Big T, the AEW game is rumored to be coming out this year, but we don't know for sure. We don't have a concrete release date.
Yeah, they said this year, but just about every video game gets pushed back. It's almost rare for them to come out on time nowadays, but we shall see.
Yeah, we shall.
Yeah, Juan, absolutely. The input's going to be like huge. You guys are going to help decide the matches that we book and everything. And, each match gets a ranking, kind of like 5 stars or 4 stars, but it gets like a 1 through 100 ranking. And 75 is considered a good match. 80 to 90 is considered a great match. And then 95 is like legendary. So we shall see how we do. And it gives the entire show a ranking. And you do 4 shows, so there's one every week, and then there's a pay-per-view, and then there'd be 4 more and then a pay-per-view. So that would actually be kind of cool for us here. Each week we'll do one, like maybe after, after a Rampage or something, or maybe on its own night, like a Monday, but we'll do one a week and get to the pay-per-view. It sounds fun.
I think doing it after a Rampage show would make the most sense.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, man. You want to go ahead and close us out?
Sure, absolutely. So this has been episode 56 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe or a follow, depending on where you find us. Thank you for everyone joining us in the chat tonight. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you guys being here. Please hit that like button. We really appreciate it. If you're not catching us here live, thank you to everyone checking us out on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter at Broken Table Show or myself at XGamerForLifeX. It is below me right here on the screen. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Broken Tables Podcast. We go live following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views. For those that weren't in the stream earlier, I am facing Jeff this Saturday for Death Before Dishonor. We will be doing a prediction show on Friday night, and it'll be an exhibition match. As champion, it's my duty to put on a good show, and you know, I think that Jeff is the perfect guy to have an exhibition match with. He's not gonna be like the last guy that I had an exhibition match with, and what a loser that guy was. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. So we're not going to talk about him. But you know, yeah, it's going to be a great show, a great weekend of content here at the Broken Tables podcast. Thanks everyone again for tuning in. Until next time, catch you guys later.
Right on. Thank you everybody for joining. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and join the Discord as well. Top Guys out.